Hello and welcome to my channel. I thought I'd do you a what am I up to today? WIP work in progress, isn't it? One of those. What have I got on the go? Well, there's 3 crochet bits. There's 1 slow stitch bit. There's probably more about if I could find them. They're everywhere. And an art book. But anyway, for today, we will go with the different bits. Now, this is one of those rolls that I like to do. I'll take off, big clips, they're handy ones. And it's just a slow stitch. It's just something to do to while away the time. It's 1 piece of material, bits of other material of different guises and what have you. Different stitches, just to make a snippet roll, but he's a bit big, isn't he, to be a snippet? Near enough a quilt one, but no, it's not that big. It's been slow because I found if I take him out, he's a bit difficult to work with. If you haven't if you're not sitting properly and you haven't got your full lap there, because, take that pin out, he's quite big and there's a lot more to do. An awful lot more to do. I'll get there. Slowly. Slow stitch slowly. See? That's what it's about. So that was 1 bit that's on the go. And I tend to... I can pin him. We'll go in. I tend to pin that bit so that's not everywhere. And I clip this as I'm going, and then I'll work. Obviously, you have it a bit bigger than that, but I'll work on the middle. 1 bit's on the go. What's next on the go? Well, next on the go is it's going to be a vest. You know, a vest jumper? Remember the old tank tops? I've got that far on one of the bits. And I did have one side done. I do have one side done. I have a bit left over. He's on there because I shall want to pick up and do the neck. So that's the bigger piece done. You see? He'll come up like that. He comes over like that. Just down. See? It will sit nicely. It will go round. Trust me, it's big enough to go round. It's just rolled under at the moment. And then I should do like a crew neck on it, I suspect, to keep me warm. So, that's that one on the go. I should pick up, I'll leave pretty big armholes, and I'll pick up that and do either a rib round it, like is on the bottom, or I might crochet around it. Not sure yet on that one. So, that is bag 1. On the go. The vest. The second bag, I'm standing because these are quite big. The second bag is the ever-growing blanket. I've got plenty of walls in there still to keep going. Do we want to get this out? Why not? Let's have a look. So if I take the walls out first, it might help. Then I can get to the blanket bit. Oh, I got it. I've got it. And this is how long the blanket is at the moment. But to be fair, if I take that hook out, keeping it together, and hold that wool there, it's rather long or rather wide. So you can see it's taking me a fair time to do. But again, I suppose it's like the slow stitching, isn't it? It's just something therapeutic to sit there and crochet just in lines back and forth and back and forth. There's nothing better than just having busy hands, isn't it? I've got all sorts of wool in here ready. That was one I'm using. That's a nice one. And that's another one I'm using. And then it's a case of going through my stash and finding odd bits about. So there you have it. That was the blanket on the go. It's going to be cuddly. It's a nice texture on that one. And for my third knitting offer, which is actually crochet, but it's wool, it's this one. Now this one's got lots of colours in it. Because I'd seen, yes I know, I'd seen a handbag or a bag. It was a tote bag actually made. And it's made of, still doing that one, different granny squares and then put together. So you do different size ones. I've sort of stuck with the same colours. Why I've got a blue in there with all the pinks and mauves, I have no idea. But anyway, it worked for me. And I'm doing different size, different stitch, sometimes, actual squares. And what you'll do is you'll lay them down, match them up, or your sizes to get your bag. I wouldn't think I'd need too many if I did the big squares. That's how many I've got so far. There's all the wool on the go. Because clearly, when you're knitting one, I don't cut the wools off each time to do them. I work with what I've got and then I'll move it up. So you've got one side that's clearer wool, one side that's got all my ends on it. And then when I've done the last row of that colour, obviously I'll start cutting these off until I do my finished rounds. Seems to be a pattern at the moment that I'm doing this colour on the edging. It's a half DC stitch. Because then once I put them together, I'll use this again to put them together, to join them. So that's an ongoing kitty thing again. Do you like my kits? What's it got in it? Well, it's got, I printed off some pattern sheets just to get some ideas of the actual stitching to do. This one's got my needle case in it because it's got my wool. This is when I do my crochet in this kit's for. That was just a little one I made. One I made earlier, as they say. It's got my trusty little scissors. Obviously chomp in there. And there'll be a crochet hook in there somewhere. Probably in trying to feel for the hook. Anyway, I also found him. Look, he's stuck in a wall. So there's my hook. What use am I using? It's a 3.5. Do like my 3.5s. In the blanket one, because he's bigger, what we got there? We got a 4. So I'm using a 4 on the blanket. I always put my hooks with my projects so that I don't pick up a project and not know what the hook size is. That's not handy, is it? Could be anything. So there you go. That's my on the goes. I hope you've enjoyed this little one. Lots to do. Obviously I will make the handbag up. I will line it. I will find it some handles. If it's more of a tote bag, I think we want a big handle, don't we? So we'll have to make a handle for it rather than like the bag handles that we've been putting on. So we'll do that. But there you go. Another video made of what I'm up to. Something different again. So you should have about 4 so far that are different. You've had slow stitch, you've had the allotment one, you've had, what was the last one? Jewellery one. Now you've got what am I up to one. And then you have the art one. It's all go in this house. Well, it's all go in my craft room anyway. People say, how do you get so much done? Well, I just do. I mean, I'm up early. I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So the time I've gone through like the newsy bits and any emails and things like that, I've got time to come and do something in the craft room. Then we'll have breakfast. And if we're not going out, I'll be back in here. Or I'll be doing something in my lap in the front room. And then in the evenings, I'm crocheting usually, or I'll be drawing. And even when we're out, as I say, I had the kit. Did you see the sewing kit that went out? Or I'll take my art book out. So that's my days are filled with craft. I have creative days, and that's the way I like it. So on that note, I shall say, do give us a thumbs up, do subscribe, there's always something more. You stay safe, you take care, and keep cool. I have the fan on. Keep cool. Bye bye for now.